Well, hello everyone. It is Adam here. This is a quick unboxing, but before I begin, I should let you guys know that my tripod, my big tripod and my small tripod are not usable because I shipped my tripod mount for my Canon off to Florida in preparation for this trip. So we are tripodless. I'm doing this with the iPhone, unfortunately, which, you know, it's not ideal. But so this won't be one of those unboxing videos that everyone will watch and make me lots of money to pay for the camera. Oh well. So this is the LX10. Just came in today. I've got the U3 card with it, which is what's needed for 4K writing. And we're gonna unbox it real quick, and then the next video you guys see will be shot with this. So we got our instruction guide here. This is also the second thing I've bought from Amazon warehouse deals, and they it's not, I would say, totally buried, but basically when you go to buy any electronic on Amazon, you can go to more options for buying options, and then look for the cheapest used price, and it's usually Amazon warehouse deals, which is returns that they got back. They couldn't sell the item as new, so they package it up and sell it as used. I think you still have a warranty, but not as long, obviously. And they're very clear about saying the condition of the item. They'll tell you if there's how many scratches are on it. Like, for example, my sound bar that I bought, it supposedly was really scratched up, like 10% scratched up, and then it's really just a small nick on the very back. So they're very generous with their notes about a scratch and dent. This listing said there were no physical defects or marks, so it's supposed to look like new, even though it was purchased by someone and then promptly returned. All right, here's the camera. It's a Leica lens. It's a pocket camera with a 1-inch sensor. 1.4 is the widest aperture you have here, but like most pocket cameras or any cheap lens, as the focal length increases from the 24mm up to 70, the f1.4, it changes drastically. I think by the time you're at 30mm from 24, it's 2472. By the time you're at like 30mm, you're already at f3, and then by the time you're at like 50mm, you're already at like f8 or 9. So the only way to get the best bokeh in f1.4 is to shoot 24mm at roughly a 2x crop factor. It's equivalent to 50mm, roughly. I don't know the stats offhand. The reason why I bought this because it does shoot in 4K. This was the camera I took with me on the trip in November down to Florida. This is Heather's S110. It's really great. It has stereo audio recording there. The side-by-side, the S110 is definitely thinner, but it's a much smaller sensor, about half the size, and only shoots 1080p, but it is lighter and easier to use. Two other disadvantages would be the photo quality is not as good as some of what I'm used to, and then also the screen is fixed and not touch screen, whereas the LX10 has this flip-up screen. So when I'm doing recordings of myself on the trip, I can see what I can get a preview, whereas the Canon, you can't do that. I have the same issue on my iPhone too, so I don't record with the front screen of the iPhone because it's only 720p. I record with the back screen of the iPhone and at 4K, but I can never see actually what I'm recording. Just kind of hope that I'm framing correctly. So with the LX10, I can frame in 4K here and record this way. So other bits, so I'm going to move this to the side now. Other bits is that it does have some pretty cool, nice features. It is a 1-inch sensor. The battery is removable, but you can actually charge via micro USB by keeping the battery in. So there's actually no, there's the battery. I read that there's actually no battery charger with the camera. Just a wall charger and a USB cable, which I don't need because I have a ton of these micro USB cables. I'll keep that in the box for resale reasons. But basically, you can keep the battery in the camera, no need to pack a charger, and then you just plug micro USB into the side. And anyone that does video work has tons of micro USB cords around. So versus, I had LX5 before and I returned it because I wasn't too happy with it. So I need to do some more testing to confirm. Some of my gripes were that this knob was too loose, and it definitely feels heavier than it did before. The toggle knob also feels heavier than before. The screen is touchscreen, which means you can you can touch to focus, which is a nice feature over the other one I had before. This knob though seems a little bit loose. Another issue I had was the interface wasn't very intuitive, so hopefully they fixed that issue. And then finally, I think the last camera only recorded in AVCHD, which it appears based on the box they're still touting the AVC HD format. But I hope that I can shoot MPEG 4 4K, because shooting AVC HD, Final Cut Pro then has to do a ton of transcoding to get it into an editable format, whereas MPEG 4 is natively editable. What else? Well, I think that's pretty much it. I'm going to charge it up, fire it up, and give it a test today. Maybe go on a little photo walk after work and try it out, and put some sample photos here at the very end. But as far as the arsenal goes, you know, you got the iPhone, which I'm using here. This will go in the tank bag of the bike, and it's replacing the S110 as the travel camera. That is Heather's camera, so I really can't use it full time. And then the 5D for this trip is going to stay home. So it's not going with me at all. And like I'd written on the blog, those of you that read both, I had this in my backpack for the trip down to Florida, and I never got it out except for when I was camping at night and wanted to take some night shots, or when I finally got to Florida, I carried it around like I do every day on my wrist strap here. But I would see like really picturesque view off the Blue Ridge Parkway. I would stop on my bike. I'd have the gloves on. I would grab her S110 out of the tank bag and take a few photos. And then because the video quality of this was so weak, I would use the iPhone for vlogging and not be able to see myself, and then put everything back together and carry on without having to remove, you know, most of my gear. I don't keep one glove on. With the Canon though, I'm basically digging for it, fixing a lens to it, putting it into video mode, turning it on, and then focusing, and then, you know, trying to find the right focus point. There's no autofocus built in, so, you know, clearly these are two different cameras. I hope this will treat me well, and if not, there's a 30-day return policy. So after the trip, I can always send it back to Amazon, and the next guy can buy it used off of Amazon warehouse deals. But the big thing over the S110, over the Lumix LX5 and LX10 that I've owned the 5 before, is that you see that when the lens is retracted, these have a much larger sensor and I think it's a lower aperture. Is that right? This is f2 and this was f1.4. So the side-by-side footprint is much larger, but in the tank bag it won't make a difference. In the pocket, probably a little bit more of a difference, but you do get a lot more from this camera than you would from the S-Series PowerShot. I love the S-Series. I had an S90, an S95, and an S110. I've loved all of them equally, but they just haven't, this line has not kept up with larger sensors, 4K, any of that stuff that a lot of the other pocket cameras have done. So that is this video for now. When I do get to Florida, I ordered some of these little fuzzies that go over the microphones there. Those are at my dad's house. They won't get in the way of the flash. And yeah, I'm pretty excited to try this guy out. So thanks for watching. I had a slight addendum actually. So the battery latch here, when you close it, it doesn't auto close like the Canon. You have to push this button back over. But I think it's just a sheer issue of size and limitations in the body. I did thought maybe I should get a couple of pictures of it starting up. So here we're on the off position now. Let's just turn it on. So what, 2 seconds roughly? And it has to wait for this guy to fully pop out for it to turn on. So turn the switch on, boom, and then turning it off. It's pretty slow actually. I bet the Sony is much faster than this. Let's go over to auto mode, because that was on movie mode. We'll see if it's much faster. Look at that, I turned it off like a minute or two ago. So if you do on and then turn it off, that's a little annoying. Yeah, it's definitely slow, isn't it? Let's try to focus here. That was pretty quick. It appears to always be trying to find the focus point before you even like click on something. Pretty quick. All right, well, time to play a little bit more, but it's really, really slow to start up and shut down.